Is it working? Okay. Hi guys and welcome. Welcome back to another vlogs with Kuramida 9. Only this one will be a slightly different vlog. It's gonna be a serious vlog. Yeah, sometimes we have those things, we're not gonna do any challenges, we're not gonna do any Q&As, we're not gonna play any games. We're just gonna have one-on-one or one to many in this case, nice, honest, open talk about something that's very important that it's coming up soon. So yeah, this vlog is primarily addressed to my Romanian audiences, but for comfort's sake, I will speak in English so you can watch it even if you're not a Romanian, and maybe you can help actually. So maybe it's better if you keep watching, but it has a specific target, so don't judge it too harshly. Anyway, just in case you guys don't know, there is a referendum coming up in our country. I'm not sure if that's how it's said in English. Anyway, a poll, an official ballot poll in which the population have to vote on whether they agree with the new law that has been passed in Parliament. What law has been passed in Parliament? Oh, well, there has been an initiative that has been, started almost 2 years ago to change the definition of family and marriage, most importantly, that we have in our country. Right now, marriage in our constitution is defined as the consensual union between two spouses, which, seems fair and reasonable, I guess. But in a very funny turn of events, I guess, the people who made this constitution like 20 years, almost 30 years ago after the revolution, whether they made this wording intentionally or not, they basically left it open for a possible reinterpretation. So it's not a surprise that as the LGBTQ wave is becoming more predominant, that this phrase could be reinterpreted to signify that our constitution would allow something such as gay marriage. So obviously, the more religious and the family traditional supporting people in our country got extremely worried about the new wave of icky gay people that will come over and cross the rainbow across the entire globe and teach our all kids extremely horrible and heinous things such as being able to love and fuck whoever you want as long as it's consensual. Obviously, we can't teach people things like that. That would be unreasonable. So yeah, they started this initiative 2 years ago. They got a lot of popularity. They want to redefine family or marriage, almost the same thing as being the consensual union between a man and a woman. So in that case, there is no confusion about gay marriage unless you exclude things like transgender and non-binary people. But I doubt our people are ever gonna get to the point of understanding things like that. But I digress. So yeah, it got very popular. It's gathered like 3 million signatures, which is way more than enough for it to be considered by the parliament. So it went up to parliament. It got voted and approved by the first house of parliament, like the House of Representative or the equivalent that we have over here. So yeah, that happened in 2017. So I saw the news. I was excited. Oh my God, it's gonna be a referendum. We have to fight it. I am for gay marriage. This is against it. I'm gonna have to go out and vote against it, and we're ready. We're gonna fight it. And I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and the referendum didn't came until right about now, when the ruling party or the ruling coalition that is right now in power in Romania is having a very dramatic drop in popularity. They have decided, hey, there is this referendum that we have accepted that seems to be very popular with the majority of our population because we are predominantly more conservative and right wing leaning, let's do that. Brilliant. We will just distract them from our problems. We'll vote the referendum. It's basically going to become an approval poll. It's going to pass. We're going to get our popularity back again. So, yeah, that's basically one of the reasons why I don't really agree with this referendum. The fact that it's just basically used as a distraction. But this might also be one of the bonuses that we might have. And I will explain how that works later. The second problem is that this referendum doesn't actually change anything. It's not gonna improve the quality for life for anyone. It basically acts as a preventive measure so that in the future, if something like gay marriage would become a thing over here, which it's pretty far from it now, but if it ever becomes a thing, it will require another referendum to change the constitution. Right now, it basically would only require a law to be passed into parliament and to be passed by the president and the um, what's it called, the fucking Supreme Court of our country, which would require some pre-liberal oriented majority in our parliament, which hasn't happened in forever, and a liberal president on top of that. So, yeah, not happening anytime soon. But regardless, we have this preventive measure in check, and yeah, that's the problem, and that's the thing that I want to address today. And the third thing that really disgusts me about how they want to pass it is just how much they have lowered themselves in order to do it. Basically, you know, when there is something like a referendum, like this kind of voting, the constitutional court, that's what it's called, not the Supreme Court. They put like a minimum participation requirement, for it to pass. Otherwise, it's invalidated. It would make sense that, it let's have at least half of the people vote on this thing if we want to take it into consideration. And previous referendums have either passed or been invalidated because they haven't met the participation quota or requirement or however you want to call it. Except for this one, for some whatever reason, they've dropped it to 30%, which is minuscule. I mean, only one referendum had less than 30% participation since, I think, since ever, really. And on top of that, they have made it so it will take 2 days, not one. Yeah, you thought it would waste enough money organizing a referendum for an entire day. No, 2 days. An entire weekend will be dedicated to consult the population on their opinion upon this matter. So yeah, that's basically the context that you guys have now. So my decision, and you might disagree with that, but I will try my best to explain why I come to this reasoning, and hopefully I will convince you as well. Is that I will go and I will vote against it. It's not just a matter of principle, but it's also a matter of the way, just how terribly it has been organized, and how much they're trying to lower the minimum conditions in order to pass it. Now, um, there is a very strong call to boycott the referendum, and I can totally understand that. Just don't go to it, and it will not meet the 30% minimum requirement, and in that case, it will be invalidated and not pass. But the problem is, first off, it's the problem that I don't exactly agree with the idea of boycotting. I mean, if the ballot had only one option, and that is you agree, and that's it, then okay, then I would totally agree. Boycott the referendum, we cannot accept this. But the referendum does have two options, a yes or a no. It's a yes or no question, so you can go and vote against it. It seems baffling to me that in a country where we struggle to obtain like 40% participation at the vote, you would have this additional boycotting. You're basically saying that 80% of the people are, just let themselves be run by the 20% other people who are not lazy enough to go and vote, which is, it's just downright abysmal. So that's one reason why I think that's like basically the principal reason why I will go and vote again, why you should go and vote and not just boycott it. And then there is the other thing, the fact that there are two conditions, and the fact that it's only a 30% requirement for participation, and it takes 2 days. I mean, if it required like 50% participation, or if it took like only one day, then maybe it would be a strategically valid option, let's say. But this time, it's such a low requirement, and it takes 2 days, and it's a much more hotly debated issue than that one referendum that didn't get passed, the uninominal vote or whatever it was called. You probably don't even remember about it. That there's probably gonna be enough people participating. Now, there is one advantage to our side, apart from the huge disapproval of our current, ruling coalition, and that is, apart from the 30% participation requirement, and obviously more than half of people have to agree with it, the people who vote yes to the referendum must make up 25% of the voting population. So, it's this additional sort of like participation requirement, like 30% must participate, and over 25% must vote yes from all of them. So yeah, that's why I think that going and voting no is still a good idea, because the thing is that they still have that requirement to meet of getting 25% of the people to vote yes. And if they don't get that 25% of the people, then the referendum will be invalidated, obviously. And what I think that if they can get 25% of the people, then getting from 25% to 30% is not really that large of a gap, considering that you have 2 days. And that's why we should be ready to push it back with a majority. And that's why, there is the option to vote no, because so, like I said, if they don't get 25%, then it doesn't matter. If they do get 25%, then we should be ready to get even more than that, so we are ready to push it back. And just think about it, how beautiful it would be if we were able to repel such you know I'm just gonna be kind and call it like an intolerant referendum. I think it would be a very powerful display of our power to, mobilize, and our power to think rationally, and accept that, some people who may be different than us do deserve the same right as us. And once again, even if we reject it, it won't change anything right away. Just that I think that if the referendum were rejected by a majority, then we would put in place the possibility for some changes that may allow in a few years for gay marriage to be legalized, because they could basically use this like an opinion poll, sort of like something like that. So yeah, that's basically what I had to say. That's basically my opinion about informing you. So if you don't want to go, if you decide to boycott it, then I guess that's fine as well. But I strongly believe that we should And I think we could mobilize enough people to vote against it. And the reason for that is, not just our support of LGBTQ people, which, it's rather small in our country, but there is some of it, and liberals and stuff like that. But at the same time, we have many people outside the country that have left, and they are much, for the most part, they are much more left-leaning, so they're likely to vote against it. And finally, we have just the huge disapproval of the current ruling coalition, and it just so happened, probably not to what the ones who made this initiative intended. They just wanted to, ban gays, and that would be it. But despite their best attempts, this referendum basically just became an opinion poll of how much do you agree with the ruling party. The Socialist Democrat Party just overlapped itself with the referendum, and it became one thing. A yes vote to it basically gives them a little bit more reinforcement, a little bit more legitimacy right now before, the next presidential elections that will happen next year. And a vote against it, or a vote or not participating, will further derail their platform and make it even harder for them to basically push anything else forward. And this is why once again, this is the exact reason why I think we could mobilize enough people to vote against this, just this huge disapproval of our the coalition. Plus, there is the fact that the question itself is very vague. The question is exactly as I have formulated at the beginning of the vlog. Do you agree with the legislative change that has been approved in Parliament? It doesn't say what it is for. It doesn't mention it. It doesn't do anything like that. It's made vague intentionally. It's been made as a distraction right now after a huge backlash over the protest. It's been delayed forever and only used now. It's the participation quota has been reduced to 30% and it takes 2 days. Like it's it's in almost I'm not sure if it's insulting or disappointing. I'm not sure what word to use, but it's that thing that it's, so bad. So this is it. This video is a call for all my, Romanian fans, Romanian viewers to mobilize. It's important for once in a lifetime. I have never missed an election. I don't wish to miss any election, even if it's the case where boycotting it would be the preferable option. But I don't want to miss it, and I will go ahead and vote no. And I would urge you to search into your soul and find that that is the more reasonable option, and do the same. And if you are watching it abroad, then try to find out where is the closest place you can vote, and do so at the embassy or consulate or whatever, something like that. If you are a foreign viewer and if you have any Romanian friends, then it would mean a lot for me and for my other LGBT friends if you could go to them, inform them of the referendum, and tell them to vote against it. It's our one chance to not have another black spot in our country's history. We have enough of those. We have many good things, but we have many bad things, and I don't think this is the time to add yet another black spot to it. So, yeah, not to mention that, with the fact that we are part of the European Union, we will have to give gay people some sort of like civil union too. We don't have to give them marriage rights, but some sort of like civil protection, should be it. And, I can agree with you. This is not the best solution. I can, you know, if it were by me, I think the ultimate way to obtain marriage equality would be to just abolish the institution of marriage altogether. You know, just remove it from constitution, from law, from civil code, from anywhere. You know, that is my true belief, if I were to say it that way. You know, you can live with someone, you can do whatever you want with them, you can have children with them, whatever you want. You can live for a day, you can live for a year, you can live for your entire life. You do not need to, have this sort of like state interference of marriage in order to live and love and fuck someone else, as long as they give consent. Obviously, we are not debating that. But considering that such a proposition, such as abolishing marriage, is even further away than what we have right now, the second best option is to just grant equal marriage rights to everyone, of the legal age and able to give consent. And that's it. Oof, took a long time. I am not used to talking this seriously in these vlogs. I take things more lightheartedly, and I did so in this one as well. I think you have noticed some ironies and jokes here and there, but this is important. Believe me, when I say it with the smile on my face and jokes and ironies in between, this is something important. Like this video, share it, uh, do whatever you need to mobilize, and go ahead and repel. This is gonna sound so freaking revolutionaries or SJW or whatever you wanna call it, but repel the oppressors. Okay, fuck it, I said it. Right. See you guys next time. We're going to make it has stopped working.